and mode, etc., etc. And thereafter, these are the so-called color combinations, which of course you have to do a bit of mugging up, where various things are given, etc. Thereafter, we have something known as this particular 4x4 EHSI map delivery. If you have a look at this, you will find that all the symbols along with the color combinations are given here. So this gives you a very fair amount of big picture. What are the various symbols which are being used and what are the colors which are being used for these particular symbols. That's it. All the information display in your so-called whatever mode you have selected. The information will be displayed in symbols there. You have to be as a user, you have to be familiar with the symbols and the color combinations. As I mentioned in the previous class, it's very relevant that you and the other pilot, both the pilots are on the same mode, unless you have got some reasons to be on two different modes. But then it's very mandatory that each and every crew member should be fully aware on which particular mode you actually are. Questions, please, anybody? If no questions, then we'll go to the question answers. All this we have discussed in the previous in a routine normal lectures, and here we are talking about the question answers. Please, can you see the screen now, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can start. Anybody can start now. You can do the detailing part. I do not know because I can't see anybody.
Number 1, refer to Appendix Alpha, which displays show the expanded ILS mode. So you want to read out the question?
No, not necessarily. Just give me the what do you feel are the answers to a particular question, please.
1 Charlie, sir.
1 Charlie, okay. Somebody else, please. Question number 2.
Refer to Appendix A, which mode is display C. Bravo, sir, map.
Okay, good. Question number 3, please.
Refer to Appendix A, which mode is display A. Answer Charlie, full nav.
Okay, very good. Now question number 4. Come on, anybody, please.
On display E, what is the approximate deviation from the required track? Bravo, sir, 8 degrees.
8 degrees, yes, absolutely correct. On number 5, on display A, what is the aircraft track?
Charlie, sir, 146.
Okay, good, very right, absolutely correct. Then question number 6, please.
The JAR 25 color code for ILS deviation pointer is alpha magenta.
Magenta, okay, very good, absolutely correct. You can do question number next also, please.
Sir, can you roll it down a bit? I can't see the question number 7.
Okay. Here we are.
Thank you, sir. The JAR 25 color code for selected heading is Bravo magenta.
Again magenta. Okay, question number 8. Next, anybody else, please?
The JAR 25 color code for precipitation rate in excess of 50 millimeter per hour is Charlie, magenta.
Again, magenta. Okay, next question, please. Downpath. What is a downpath waypoint? Okay, carry on. Active route. Again, magenta. Question number 10, please.
Question number JAR 25 color code for
Can you read the question a bit louder?
the JAR 25 color code for a downpath waypoint is.
What is a downpath waypoint, sir? What are the two type of waypoints? One is called the active waypoint, and the other is called the downpath waypoint. What is the active waypoint and what is the downpath waypoint? Anybody in the class? Can you give this answer, please?
The active waypoint is the waypoint that we're going. The downpath is the waypoint that we're leaving.
Absolutely correct. The waypoint which you are going to report to next on your track, that is called the active waypoint, and the waypoint behind after this particular active waypoint is called the downpath waypoint. Active waypoint is the point which you are going to heading for, and the downpath waypoint is one waypoint which is behind the active waypoint. Is question number 10 answer is alpha white, right? Question number 11, please.
The horizontal deviation on the expanded IRS display represented by one dot is approximately Charlie 0.5.
It is 0.5. It is 0.5. Absolutely correct. And question number 12, answer is Bravo. Question number 13, answer Charlie, and question number 14 is 360 true. Plan mode, all headings are true. This finishes as far as my so-called EHIS in between dawn and self, whatever you people have able to gather information, right? In case you have any questions now, please go ahead so that we can switch over to the next topic. No questions?
No, sir.
Okay. If you have no questions, then we switch over to the next topic, which is the RNAV or area navigation, right? Now, what is the purpose? Why this particular so-called area navigation, or what we term as RNAV, was basically introduced as far as flying as aviation is concerned? Main reason was that gradually the number of aircraft in the air started increasing gradually, and the authorized routes available were very, very limited. You have those ATS routes, etc., etc., etc. So RNAV was introduced basically to reduce the congestion on the so-called ATS routes, and number two, to utilize the airspace which was not being utilized earlier on. What used to happen is when we talk about the ATS route, we have the so-called navigation aids, ground-based navigation aids at each turning point of the waypoint. We have got those navigation aids available there. You go over the particular reporting point, thereafter turn the aircraft, etc., etc., etc. So this particular system, when we talk about area navigation or RNAV, was basically introduced to reduce the congestion on these traffic, because as it is, the intensity of the traffic started increasing gradually and we needed more space. So the airspace which was not being utilized earlier, we started in this introduction of RNAV. Now with this RNAV is obviously with certain conditions. When you can't fly RNAV anywhere you want, anytime you want. But there are certain criteria, certain requirements which we have to pull to fly a RNAV route. Aim was to fill in the gap created, and obviously, if you suppose you are flying the ATS route, the distance or the range, obviously, if you are going from various reporting points so that you keep turning left, right, etc., etc., etc. By the time you reach your destination, you have done almost 500 nautical miles, for example. In case of this particular so-called introduction of the RNAV, area navigation route, you are covering this same, you're reaching the same place, your destination, in doing hardly 200 miles. So imagine the benefit, the time you save. But the only difference here is when you talk about the RNAV routes, there are certain conditions required. Only thing is, in case of the normal routine ATS routes, you go overhead a particular reporting point. That means you fly overhead a particular navigation system. In case of RNAV area, it's not necessary for you to fly over a particular navigation system, a ground-based navigation system. So basic introduction was RNAV was, it is now, this is divided into two groups now. One is called there are two types of RNAV. One is called the precision RNAV, which we are not going to be discussing at the moment. We will be discussing only the basic RNAV, which is of course a part of our syllabus, right? And this, so the levels or the capabilities of these RNAV is 2D, 3D, and 4D. 2D RNAV system means only the horizontal aircraft in the terms of latitude and longitude. 3D RNAV means the vertical, the height also. And in the 4D navigation system, the timing functions are also included. When you talk about the various levels of area navigation, now what we talk about when we talk about R navigation, when we talk about the basic RNAV, this is once the RNAV system was basically introduced. Initially, when the RNAV system was introduced, only requirement was co-located VOR and DMEs. The only requirement, only the navigation, ground-based navigation item which you required to cater for navigation is co-located VOR and DMEs. That means distance and range you used to get from these two particular points. Now, if you see this particular so-called photograph, 17.2 route and waypoints, how do you select? Now, you are flying from SDN to new is the route which you are supposed to follow. And if you see, you got the waypoints which have got no ground-based navigation with them. But you got these so-called VORDMEs, these airway routes are there, and they got these so-called navigation systems, or they got the ground-based navigation system. At the moment, we are talking about only co-located VOR, because in the basic or the what navigation system, whatever we are going to study as far as we are concerned, is the basic NAV, basic RNAV system, which caters for only two type of navigation systems, which is co-located VOR DMEs. Now, if you look at this particular diagram, and if you have a look at, this is the way. Now, this is from waypoint, you are flying from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, right? And you have got on the ground, you got DVI is one of the navigation systems, that is co-located VOR DME, and POL is the other navigation system. What you have to follow that, as far as the waypoint 1 is concerned, it should be within the pickup zone of DTY and POL both. Your waypoint 1 should be within the pickup zone, and obviously waypoint 2 will be within the pickup zone of POL. That means, as far as you are concerned, the computer or the system can draw two lines of the triangle. These, you see these dotted lines, which are slightly reddish in color, are the lines which are being drawn. And the third is the dark blue line, which is the track which you are going to follow from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2. So the only requirement is that once you decide on a particular ATS or RNAV route, you have to see that selected, you have to select, suppose you have selected a particular route, on that you have to select the waypoints. Now these waypoints should be so selected that they should be within the pickup zone of one of the ground-based VOR DMEs on the ground, so that you can draw two lines of the triangle, and the third line is automatically, which happens to be from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, is the direct line. All deviation indicated in this will be in terms of horizontal base, in the sense 2 miles to the left, 2 miles to the right, 5 miles to the left, 5 miles to the right. And obviously, what will be indicated to you in the aircraft is the heading to fly to waypoint 2. Suppose you get diverted from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, you get diverted in any particular direction. And as you get diverted, the heading will obviously change. So in your cockpit, you will get the indication, okay, alter heading so and so now, to go to waypoint 2. Similarly, whenever any deviation is there, it's only in the terms of the horizontal part of the system, right? This is as far as this. That's all. Is nothing much is required as far as the area navigation is concerned. This, of course, will nothing. Any questions if you have so far? You may ask the questions now. Any questions, please?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, then this is this. I finished the area navigation system. Now, next happens to be the so-called FMS or FMC, which is flight management computers, which of course I believe Don has already covered as far as the FMC is concerned. I will just ask you a couple of questions based on this particular navigation system is divided into two parts. One is called the performance base, and the other is called the navigation database. The performance based, at the moment when we talk about this particular FMC, we will be discussing the so-called navigation database, right? These are the computers, these are the various systems which are there. Now, this is the so-called FMC, right? Now it has got, as I said, the performance database and the navigation database. What we are going to discuss in this particular class is only the navigation database, and navigation database is based on the error. What are the information which the computer contains, or which you will be given to you in the aircraft, is aerodrome details, position, elevation, runway and length, etc., etc., etc. Airway routes, including reporting points, SIDs, stars, and the runway approaches, company routes. Now, the responsibility of filling the data or updating the data is with the engineers, and this is done every 28 days. The data updating is done by the engineers of the company, of the organization, because they know the company routes, etc., and they are supposed to update your FMC every 28 days. You as a pilot cannot do any modification, any changes as far as this information is concerned. When you talk about navigation database is basically for you people to see, but it is done by the engineers, and you as a pilot can only read this database. You cannot modify, you cannot change, you cannot amend, you cannot make any changes as far as this database is concerned. If you feel something is wrong with this database, you have to come back and inform the technical staff that this is information happens to be not very accurate or not very correct, etc., etc., etc. This is called the navigation database, and there is something known as a temporary database also, which pilot and the co-pilot can enter. You can enter the information, especially if you're flying the FMC, you are parked at a particular location at the aerodrome, bay number 17. So you can feed. This information normally are not available, but it's only available once the aircraft is parked at a particular location. So this is called the temporary database. You can fill, or you can punch in whatever information is required as far as this is called the temporary database, which pilot can modify, amend, change, whatever you want to do with that. But as far as the permanent database is concerned, which is updated on every 28 days, cannot be done anything with. Have you heard the word Kalman filtering?
Sorry, sir, what again?
Kalman filtering. Have you heard this term?
No idea, sir.
Okay. Now these are the various sort of displays as far as the computer base is concerned. I said information which can be feed. You got the keypad at the bottom where you can do whatever you want. Otherwise, as far as the permanent database is concerned, as I said, you can only read the particular database. These are the various sort of routes planning, etc., etc., etc. And this, of course, once you start flying, you will realize that this is much, much comfortable navigation system than what we are studying at the moment. At what time is the IRS most accurate? Anybody in the class? At what time is the IRS most accurate?
At the initial stage of flight?
initially at the starting of the flight is most accurate and becomes most unreliable by the time you reach the top of descent. IRS is most accurate during once the startup, because that's the time you normally synchronize. And this is something known as Kalman filtering. What is filtration? What is filtration?
To get rid of the unnecessary information.
That means you eliminate, when you talk about filtering process, what you do is you normally filter out the information which is actually, or you filter out the item which is not actually required. Kalman filtering is also very similar to this particular sort of, only thing is here the information regarding the navigation comes onto the computer, and computer has got something known as Kalman filtration. So it filters out all the relevant information which comes to there and takes only the information which is relevant, which is more reliable, which is more accurate. Which this is called this is in the FMC, this is in the computer, this is in the flight management system. Is there something known as Kalman filtering? The information which is being received by the aircraft or which is being used by the aircraft is after it has gone through Kalman filtration. Kalman filtration filters out all the information which is slightly unreliable, may not be very accurate, may not be very correct. Actually, this sort of information is so-called filtered out. Thereafter, what the information left here is called the Kalman filtration or Kalman filtering. As Don has covered this topic in depth, I don't intend to go into the details, or in case you have any questions as far as this is concerned, you are most welcome to ask the questions now so that we can proceed further. Let's start with the question answers, please.
Number one, the
A bit
accuracy
louder,
required.
please. A bit louder.
The accuracy required of a precision airline navigation system is Charlie, sir.
One nautical mile. Absolutely correct, sir. Question number 2.
A
Okay.
basic 2D RNAV system will determine tracking information from Bravo VOR DME.
That's correct. Absolutely, we are DME. That's correct. Question number 3. You are using the 2D navigation system on which the horizontal information is only displayed. You're flying from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2. All the information is given. What will be displayed as far as the cockpit is concerned when you are sitting in the cockpit? What information will be given to you? Anybody in the class? The information which will be displayed to you in terms of range is whatever range is left to the next waypoint. In this case, answer will be Bravo 20 nautical miles because you are 20 nautical miles from the next reporting point, right? All in other information as far as you are concerned, the only information which you will be displayed in the cockpit is regarding the next waypoint. How much distance, whatever the heading you're supposed to fly to the waypoint, and whatever the distance is to that particular waypoint. That's the only information. Rest, where the VR DML are located, how much is the total distance, what is the wind condition, etc., does not make any difference. The only information which will be displayed if you are using the 2D area navigation system, the only information which will be displayed in the cockpit is your distance, your range, and the heading you're supposed to fly to the next waypoint. Question number 4, please.
The sequence of displays.
A bit louder, please.
The sequence of display assessed on initialization is Charlie.
Okay, question number 5. You do question number 5 also.
The IRS position can be updated alpha on the ground only.
Yeah, you can update as far as IRS is concerned. You can play around with the IRS only on the ground. Once you got airborne, you're not supposed to touch the IRS thereafter. So as far as the IRS is concerned, question number 6 is 3R to question number 6 not relevant as far as the FMC is concerned. And question number 7, please. Question number, I'll just give you question number 7. Here we are. There you can do question number 7 and 8, please.
Yes, sir. Question number 7. The position used by the FMC in the Boeing 737 is Charlie, taken from the selected IRS, smoothened by Kalmar filtering, and updated to the external reference.
And question number 8 also, please.
Question number 8. The FMC position will be at its most accurate.
Most
at
inaccurate.
TOD. Most inaccurate at TOD.
At your top of descent, right?
Yes.
Question number 9 now. Anybody else, please?
Number 9, which position can be input to the FMC using a maximum of 5 alpha numerics? Answer is Bravo, navigation
Okay.
facilities, reporting
Question number
point.
10, please. Question number 10. You do the 10 also.
The FMC navigational database can be accessed by the pilots Bravo to read information only.
Yeah, okay. Question number 11. Anybody else, please? Question number 11.
So can you scroll down a little bit?
I beg your pardon?
Can you scroll down the page a little bit to see the question number 11?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my fault. Here we are.
Above latitude of 84 degree, a twin FMS triple IRS will go to decouple operation. The reason for this is alpha to prevent error message as the IRS longitude show large differences.
Okay, fine. Absolutely correct, sir. Question number 11 and 12. The maximum range in which we are
Yeah.
bearing information will be used in 7 to 7 is 25 nautical miles. Question number 13 and 14, 15. I'll just give the answers for question number 13, 14, and 15. Answer for question number 13 is Delta, 14 is Charlie, and 15 is 28 days. We have discussed this in class. That's all. With this, I actually finished my radio navigation so-called syllabus. Whatever we are supposed to be teaching you people, we have already covered that. There is a bit of confusion as far as the CAM and YASA is concerned regarding this introduction of what we term as performance-based navigation. As far as what we have been told of late, that this will, the so-called performance-based navigation will be applicable for examination purpose after August only. But somehow or the other, I do not have much faith as far as our CAM is concerned. They have been doing this sort of information earlier on also, and they have tested people which for the syllabus which actually have not been indicated very clearly. So performance-based navigation in your so-called aviation.com has got about 48 questions.
So you mean it's never been tested before?
Huh?
So do you mean that it's never been tested before?
No, so far, no, not at all. So I have been actually requesting all the people who have been appearing in the examinations earlier on, just keep an eye if you have any questions on performance-based navigation. So far, till last examination, no questions have been asked, but we have been, our students, just to be on the safer side, they are normally mugging up those answers and going for the FMC. But so far, no question has been asked. And of late, what we have been told is August onwards, they will start questioning on the performance-based navigation. Such there is a slight modification in the syllabus, which we already received now. As far as you are concerned, you will not be, should not be asked any questions on performance-based navigation. But as I said, I don't have much faith as far as the CAM is concerned. It'll be better if you are slightly prepared for it. That's all.
Yes, sir.
I have got nothing to add now. On Monday onwards, I will be starting with the so-called testing process. I would like you people to give your marks after you have finished the test. Give your marks to the class leader, and I will get the marks once we start the classes back again here. So I would like you people to do some sort of homework now, and as far as we are concerned, we'll be doing the exam mode in the classroom.
Okay.
I'll just take out my. Yeah, okay. Now, as far as the examination purpose is concerned, I have got, I think what the total number of questions, as far as I'm concerned, is 1038. There may be minor reshuffling as far as the question answers are concerned. There are 40 questions in relation to performance-based navigation, which we, of course, are not doing. But we will start, as far as the class testing is concerned, we will start from the very, very beginning, which is called the, first we'll go through the basic radio propagation theory, which has got about 103 questions. I would like, you can practice on your own if you want to practice, but in the classroom, I want you people to do all the questions in the next class, these 103 questions in the classroom, without any guidance, without any help. In case you can do, in case you feel you require a guidance, take assistance of your neighbors, or you can ask me a question, anything you want, as far as this is concerned. We got 103 questions. In the next class, we will be doing these 103 questions on basic radio propagation theory. It is basic principle, antennas, and the wave propagation are the three which are going to be there, right? So, any questions, any doubts, any clarifications as far as the methodology is concerned? In the remaining, whatever classes we do at home, we will be doing as far as this particular testing is concerned. Questions, doubts, clarifications. Now, sir, I want to come back on the screen. I want to see what went wrong today. Why did we not be able to come as usual, what we normally do? Was there any change in the system? Hello?
Not really. I think not really say. I think you just straight away share the screen, so that's why you're getting the.
Can we revert back to right from the beginning, and can we restart? Can you give me another invitation?
Oh, I think I will stop sharing. Okay, so can you open back your Zoom?
I don't have Zoom meeting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Recording.
So have you see have you see the Zoom interface in your screen?
No,
okay, so,
nothing.
Okay. How about you rejoin? You try to rejoin back.
Meeting topic RNAV, host, Azhar, invitation, participant, etc., etc., etc. Then join audio, share screen, invite others.
Yeah.
In the top corner, it is recording.
Okay. This is a new system.
Bottom is share screen, green color. Now I got the screen as earlier I used to get.
Okay. Or how about you try to rejoin back?
Hello. I can hear you, right?
Yeah, you can hear. Okay.
How your name is there on the screen. That's all.
How about you try to rejoin back?
My name is there. Then Naina is there. Ayman is there. Ikwan, etc. Are the on the corner? Start my video. Can I click that?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Now my photograph has come.
Okay. Is it okay?
This is what the starting point. Today they didn't start this way.
Oh, I see. Okay. This might be some sort of setting that need to be done. But otherwise, I think it's still looking fine. Like just some sort of setting.
Okay. Otherwise, Monday onwards you have the class with the same timing.
Should be. I think Shakil will be discussing the new schedule.
Yeah.
So our class leader will discuss with all the instructors
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
then
schedule.
of course, in case you keep them, just keep me on the same timing, 11:30, 1 o'clock.
Sure, sir.
And we will try and do this question answers, three periods. And thereafter, we'll see in case we open up again, we come back. Otherwise, if we do not come back, we'll continue with the same process or the same procedure, right?
Okay, sir.
Can I see the photograph of everybody in the class or no?
I have no idea actually what's the screen that you are viewing, but from my side, I think I see everybody.
Achha, I can't see. I can see only my photograph. That's all.
I see.
There's
Okay.
no other. No, there's nobody else on the screen as far as I'm concerned. My other screen, your name is there, and my screen is totally black.
Can you see my picture?
I can't. I see your name only. That's all.
Oh,
I
okay.
can see the name of Naina, Ayman, and Hadi Ikwan also, but only names are there. No photograph. No nothing. There's a sort of a red thing which is crossed.
Oh, okay. So how about if can you see at the top right of the corner of your photograph?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see there is there's a gallery view. There's a name of gallery view.
Yes, that is right.
Okay, can you click on that?
Yeah, gallery view now. I got yes, I got
So
a
you
couple
can,
of people around me now.
yeah, so you can see almost everybody in the gallery
Other I
view.
can see you. Then Hazik I can see, but I can see all the names otherwise.
Okay.
Right. Alicia I can see. Naina I can't. No, Rajesh I can't see. Or there are all those red thing are there. Red cross, small right figure with a cross.
Okay. That's there because they mute the microphone.
Okay.
That mean the symbol mean that the
Hi, sir.
participant muting their microphones. We try to avoid the unnecessary audio interference.
Okay,
So
fair
that's
enough. Fair
why-
enough.
Okay. Otherwise, I think it's working fine.
Okay, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Other than I will see you maybe on Monday morning again.
Sure, sir.
All the best. Have a nice day. Have a nice holiday. Have a nice.
You too,
Stay
sir.
healthy. Stay fit.
Thank you,
Stay
sir.
good. Bye bye.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Take care,
Sir, thank you, sir.
Have a nice weekend, sir.
So enjoy your weekend at home.
Can I click on the leave meeting now?
Yes, sir.